Hi, I'm Peggy at Portraits by Peggy. Today we're going to take a few minutes and we're going to talk about how important professional headshots are. Everyone knows your first impression is so important. You don't have a second shot at a first impression. But let's be honest, the world that we live in today, most first impressions happen online, either through your website or through social media. So it's very important, no matter if you're a small business owner or you work for corporate America. If you're a business person, you need to make sure that you present yourself the way you want people to see you. If you want them to see you as someone that's very knowledgeable in your field, if you want them to see you as someone trustworthy, someone that is worthy of them paying you money, then you want to make sure that their first impression of you is very professional. And now, times have changed a lot. Actors and models always needed professional headshots to show what they did. But plumbers and electricians and attorneys, not so much. Nowadays, everyone needs a professional headshot. It's very important. Now, when actors and models used to do, or still do, when they do headshots, they want several different looks. They want to show they can look this way, they can look sad, they can look rich, they can look poor, whatever the demographics they're trying to reach, they can produce that. Well, same thing with us as a business person. Sometimes let's have an example. An attorney is going to want a very business-like shirt and tie for the firm's website. We want to make sure you look very professional. But the same attorney may want to make sure he looks approachable as well. So maybe on his LinkedIn or on his Facebook or some other social media, maybe a little bit more casual, still very professional, but a little bit more approachable. When we do this for business people, it's called a branding session. And some business people do podcasts, or they write blogs or articles, and they want to make sure that the look they're presenting is going to reach the demographics that they are trying to reach. So we can do a huge photo session on location, maybe in a coffee shop, who knows, maybe at your office. Get all those looks that you need for all your needs, all your social media and print needs. Now, some people just simply need a great profile shot for their website, their LinkedIn, their Facebook, and all their other social medias. And that's fine too. Not everybody needs a ton, but everybody needs at least one amazing professional business headshot. And I'll just be honest, those selfies and even a snapshot taken by a friend, those are not going to portray to your potential clients what you're trying to tell them. You want them to know, hey, I know what I'm doing, I'm confident, I have knowledge, and I'm trustworthy. And that's what you want to present to them. And that first impression, it's going to be your headshot. So that's why I tell people it's so important. Now, I remember I moved to San Diego in 2002. In 2003, I made some business cards up, and they just had some pictures of my work on it. And I remember my dad, who has also been self-employed his entire life and, started businesses and quite a businessman. I showed him my cards and he yelled at me. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I go, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "You need your picture on that business card." And I said, "No, I wasn't feeling good about myself at that time. I didn't think I was the weight I wanted to be. I didn't like my hair. It was just in that funk." And my dad said, "It doesn't matter how you look. They need to have that first contact, that first impression of you." He goes, "How many people call you back from your business card?" And I'm like, not really that many. He's like, "Throw them away. Go print some business cards with your picture on it." And so I thought, you know what? Make the old man happy. Let's do what he says. So I do this, and people start calling me off of my business cards. And here's why. Because when you get a business card and it's just text, and maybe your friend gave you the business card, and they say, "Hey, in my case, hey, you should call Peggy. She did a great job. We had great portraits, a lot of fun. Here's her card. Now, if that card just has text, it's kind of hard. It's hard to make that first step. It's kind of like going up to a stranger in the and you don't know who they are. But if you see my picture on the card, it gives you that first connection where you're like, well, I know who she is. I mean, you don't, but you do. You have an idea who you're contacting. So it's easier for them to pick up the phone and call you or shoot you an email or a text because they don't feel blind. They feel like they know who they're contacting. And so that's another reason why having a professional headshot is important, because it gives your potential clients that extra kick, that extra boost to take the nerve to contact you, because after all, with Yelp and Google and everything, I mean, the people are absolutely flooded with your competition. So you need to make sure you're a step ahead of all of your competition. You need to make sure that your potential clients call you and not Joe down the way. So that's why you need to step up and be as professional as you can. Make that first impression as wonderful as you can. Now, anybody that follows my vlog probably caught a couple of weeks ago when I talked about the magic of touch-ups. Now, professional headshots, that's where I really shine at those touch-ups, because if you're there with your dog and your family and you're doing family portraits, or you're with your kids or whatever it may be, if you have a hair out of place, or you're not looking right on spot, you just looking good, that's okay, because you know what, that's a family memory of that time. Obviously you want to look your best, but a professional headshot, you got to be better than your best. You've got to be amazing. And so that's when that extra little touch-up magic comes in at the back end. Not only do I know how to pose you and get you looking your best for your body type, but I always use that magic on the back end and make you look amazing. So it is very important how you present yourself as a business person. So take the time, schedule an appointment, get professional headshots. No more selfies on your professional website. No more snapshots from your friend, or even worse, those wedding pictures where you're cut out, whoever was beside you. Those look terrible. They're not professional at all. I know you can do better than that. So give me a call and we'll do that. Most importantly, right now, subscribe, share, and leave comments. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Have a great weekend.